Hello, everyone, and welcome to Big Man, Big Problems podcast. My name is Julio, and I'm here with my emotional support gay, Daniel. Tech support, Daniel. He's here because I have no idea what I'm doing with technology. I'm just somebody who talks a lot, and he's helped me put this thing together. So, welcome, Daniel.
Thank you, Julio.
Yeah, Daniel's
Well,
an
thank you
awesome
for
guy.
letting me come in.
So, what is this podcast? Who am I, and what's it all about? I am a former Biggest Loser contestant. I am somebody who has struggled with my weight, my size, my entirety of my life. I've lost all the weight and gained all the weight a couple of times in my life. And what I realized in going all through that is that there really wasn't anybody for me to talk to about what I was going through. There were a lot of people who were able to talk to me about how to lose the weight, what to do, how to exercise, but how to deal with what I was dealing with, no one was there. It seems to me you need to talk to somebody like me. I am not a nutritionist. I am certainly not a personal trainer. I'm not a doctor. I'm certainly not a therapist. What I am is somebody who has gone through all of these experiences more than once, and somebody who's willing to talk about. So, what brought me to this point? There have been hundreds of things I could tell you that's happened to me because of my size. I'm not going to bore you with all that today. We can get into different topics in different episodes. The thing that brought me here today is what's happening with me currently. I currently have a medical condition that was diagnosed recently, but I've been dealing with for the past 10 or 15 years. That's really affected me. And it's been blamed solely on my size. As it turns out, it has nothing to do with my size. The only thing my size did was stop people from looking any further until finally a couple of doctors looked a little deeper. And I asked them point blank, is it my size that caused this? And they said, absolutely. They don't even know that it affects it any worse. The only thing it did, like I said, is stop people from going at it. So I Googled, I went on YouTube, I put in big guy dealing with big guy issues, guy with weight issues, and all I got was a myriad of ways of showing me how to lose weight. And that wasn't my issue. My issue is how do I deal with this process as I'm dealing with it now? So I thought, hey, why not start my own? I thought about writing a book. I thought about writing an article. Turns out that I can't read my own handwriting. So that didn't work. I can't type worth a damn. So who knows how long that would take. And then I even thought, well, what if I just dictate it and someone else write it? And I'm like, well, what I do best is talk. So I'm here to talk. What I'm hoping comes out of this is that people like me who are out there are going to send me messages through my Instagram, through my Facebook page, or through YouTube, and we'll discuss them together. And if we can develop the technology between us to do it, maybe we'll even do some live broadcasts and take some questions. Uh, this is not, nor will ever be, a weight loss discussion. I am not promoting somebody being heavy. I'm certainly not promoting somebody uh, being thin. I'm just promoting you being you. And I'm here to talk to you about what you're going through and how to deal. Uh, I'm sure we'll get into a lot of discussions. This is sometimes going to be funny. This is sometimes going to be sad. This is sometimes going to be serious. I'll bring on different guests dealing with different aspects of what we're talking about. I certainly know some people who can talk about this. I'll even bring on my personal trainer to see what he went through trying to deal with somebody like me. So what I thought we'd do today is we deal with just some general questions, keep it a little bit light, how to deal with certain aspects of just being a big guy and the problems of being a big. So between Daniel and I, we talked to some people and we got a few main topics that we thought we might want to discuss, things they're probably not discussing on other channels. So, Daniel, what was the first topic we wanted to discuss?
Uh, it was clothing. I mean, I know a lot of oftentimes people go to just any clothing store you go to, Gap or you go Nordstrom or Macy's or whatever store. How is that affecting you?
Well, see, that's actually a really good subject because that's one of the hardest things we deal with as big guys is clothing. Number one thing I wanna say, guys, dress for your body type, okay? There's no reason why somebody who's bigger has to look fat. Right? You don't have to wear oversized shirts. You don't have to wear undersized shirts. Now, I realize it's a problem. Not every store sells for our body type. There are a few good ones out there. You got to find them. You got to try them on. If you go in, they will help you. And there's really 4 main categories you need to be prepared for, right? You need to be prepared for work. You need to be prepared for going out with your wife or your girlfriend or your significant other. You need to be prepared for just daily, regular activity during the day. And you need to be prepared for more formal stuff. Okay. And this gets tricky, but what I would suggest is that not only do you find something that fits, because you really just got to find the right brand of t-shirt. I'll give you an example. This t-shirt I'm wearing, okay? I got this on a clearance rack on a website. It fits wonderfully. I love the way I look at it. So my first thought is I'm going to buy 3 of them in various colors because you always have to have a backup, right? Because what happens if all of a sudden you get a stain on this shirt? Has any other big guys out there ever got a stain on your shirt? I do it on every single shirt. But you have to have a backup. But here's the problem, right? Discontinue. Bought it on clearance, can't find it again, so now I have to go through the process of finding another one specific for it. It also helps to have a little bit of a uniform. You know how people out there have their style, they have the way they dress? You could do the same thing, okay? When I go to work, I almost have a uniform. I don't look good in a suit jacket, so what do I wear? I wear a sleeveless V-neck vest, right, with a dress shirt underneath. I don't wanna wear a tie, but I wanna look nice, and if I just wear a shirt with pants, I don't feel like it completes the outfit, and I have some confidence body issues when it comes to just wearing a shirt tucked in. So what do? I wear a V-neck sleeveless sweater over it. It looks dressy, it looks clean, it looks nice. I find some shirts that I could use to go out to dinner, right? I find some t-shirts and shorts that I could use during the day. Uh, Once you find these, get more than one, okay? Because that's the other problem, right? You wanna go on vacation. Let's say you wanna go to the islands, you wanna go to the beach. Buy yourself some swim trunks, but don't get 1, get 2 or 3. Because if one rips, how do you replace it? That's a problem big guys have that other people just don't. Everyone else can go to Kohl's or Walmart. We can't, depending on your size. So always have a backup available and accessorize the right way. Get a nice watch, get some nice shoes. Those will always fit and you will always look good. This is a topic I feel is going to come up many, many times in our discussion. But what I want everybody to know is just because you're a big guy doesn't mean you have to look bad. Okay. You can dress nice. I typically dress very nice because I am a vain son of a bitch and I want to look good as often as I can look good. And when I go out to dinner, I want people are going to stare at me because I'm a big guy, but I like to think in my head it's because I'm dressed super, super nice.
That's actually very interesting. I never thought about that. I have never thought about that because when I go to buy something, even if it's on sale, I'm like, "Oh, I'll buy one." I
No,
know,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, you buy one to make sure everything fits well,
yeah,
right? You buy one to see what kind of reaction you get from your spouse or your girlfriend or whatnot.
yeah.
But then immediately I go online, I buy 2 more. In fact, I'll tell you my dress pants, that I found to wear to
How many
work,
of them do you have?
I have 4 different colors,
Oh, wow.
right? I have black, I have blue, I have gray, and I have, like a beigey tan type color,
Yeah,
right? Because you can mix and match. And that's really
yeah.
the only colors they sell
You
dress
wanted
pants, and
you
anything
wanted to
beyond that, it's you know?
That's very interesting because I have never shopped that way because I never needed it,
Okay,
and that's a
but
good
here's
point.
my secret.
Yeah.
I have a complete other set still in the packaging in my closet,
You're ready to use, yeah.
ready to use.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very good advice
Because
from
you
you.
also, and being a big guy, you don't always stay the same weight, right? You go up, you go down, you're different
Mhm.
sizes, different days. It also helps to have a different color, belts to go with that stuff,
Yeah.
belts that fit, gentlemen. Now the other thing with being a big guy is generally we have bigger feet, right?
Oh, well,
So,
that's
and
true.
I love shoes. So when I go on vacation, I need a separate suitcase just for my shoes because I'm a size 13 for the love
Oh
of
my
God.
god.
Yeah, and 4 pairs of shoes is a travel case. So,
Oh, geez,
yeah,
that's
yeah. So like I said, we're gonna get into this much, much more. Let's, see what other questions we might have, see if we can get something a little more serious.
Julio, is there any difference when you go to a doctor comparing to somebody like
Oh
what
my god,
changes?
yes. Yeah, going to the doctor is always an interesting affair. Number 1, what's the first thing they do when you go to a doctor's office? They put you on the scale, and you don't know that that scale is actually going to weigh you. If you're over 350, not all scales will weigh you, and then they go, "Well, what's your weight?" And your response is, "I haven't the slightest idea." So that's always an interesting thing. I actually went to the doctor once and complained about something. He brings in the nurse right away and does a blood sugar test on it. Because they automatically assume what? They automatically assume that any health problems you have is from your weight, which may or may not be the case. And it's good to always check. And for all you big guys out there, don't let any of this dissuade you from actually going to the doctor because everyone needs to go to the doctor once a year and get a checkup. Do all your tests, do your colonoscopies, do everything you're supposed to do because you don't know what's out there. You don't know what you can do. The next thing the doctor does is do your blood pressure, right? Well, guess what? The blood pressure cuff doesn't fit me. They don't have a cuff that fits me. It's almost offensive, quite frankly. So they have to do it on my forearm or they have to go find a different one. But I mean, I'm a patient. Why don't they have a cuff? I've been
Yeah,
going there for years.
that's true.
That's my first thought. But I get over it. They do my blood pressure and then they check my blood pressure and it's normal. And they go, huh, it surprises them that you
Yeah,
could be heavy and you could be healthy at the same time.
they're just expecting.
And that's part of what I'm trying to do here is raise awareness that being heavy doesn't automatically mean that you're unhealthy. Health can be determined in a lot of ways. And generally, they'll try to, after they find out that you're not being dragged down your way, they'll be much kinder to you. It's a good thing to be friendly with your doctor. He will help you in anything you want to be helped with. And if it's your goal to be healthier, he'll talk to you about being healthier, not just about losing weight. If it's your goal to lose weight, he can give you advice on that as well. But don't fear going to the doctor because it could be a little bit embarrassing for you or whatever it is you feel, you need to check things. You need to know that the issues you have, if you have any, are about your weight or not about your weight, about being a big guy or not being a big guy. Because guys over 50, our check engine light goes on regardless. So, we got to check those things. So that's a really good question, Daniel. That's something everyone should talk about. And I'm sure
Yeah.
lots of you guys out there have questions about things that happen at the doctor as well. And we could certainly get it. Yeah.
So Julio, what happens with your family and friends? Do they bring up your weight oftentimes? Do they ask you question? Does that also make you uncomfortable? I don't know. How does that work?
Family and friends, that's a touchy subject, right? Everyone reacts a little differently. There are people out there who've known you your whole life and love you for the person you are, and they don't talk about it. And when you go to their house, they accommodate, right?
Mhm.
One of the biggest fears of being a big guy is them saying, "Hey, why don't you come over for a barbecue?" Right? And you're thinking, "Great, a barbecue," and your second thought is, "Wonderful. I hope they don't have those plastic resin chairs." Or some kinda camping chair because,
Yeah.
I don't know about some of you guys out there, but I have collapsed one of those in my life. And then, people treat it kindly for the most part, but it's embarrassing. And you think about something like that. But family and friends, there's 2 types, right? There's ones that understand and love you for who you are, and then there's others who feel it's their job to somehow get you on the right path, to get you on some sort of diet. And the ones that come up, my Aunt Edna went on the hot dog diet, and that really seems to work. Or, my friend Billy is on Ozempic, and man, he just lost all the weight. Why don't you do the Ozempic? Those things are your choice. And the only thing you could really do is thank them for their kind and wonderful advice that you will look into it and then you move on to see what they're cooking on the grill because it could be better than the conversation you're having right now. Okay. As far as how to deal with your mom or dad, um, one day we're going to talk about how that affected me. Both my parents really reacted very, very differently. That might just have to be its own episode altogether. All you big guys out there, big gals. You know exactly what I'm talking about because you have one of those in your life who the only thing they stress over is your size and how it's affecting you. You stub your toe and they're like, "Well, you gotta lose some weight," you know? You get a cold and they're like, "Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, if you woulda had a better coat because you're smaller, you wouldn't have got the cold." I mean, it's
they
everything.
blame
So,
everything to them.
yeah, so that's a wonderful, wonderful topic, and that, I'm gonna tell you, is gonna be its own episode.
Yeah.
I know I am blessed that I have being on the TV show. I have some other people in my life that I can talk to about some of these things, but not everybody's gone through that experience, so we'll research it a little further.
Mhm.
So, being a big guy isn't easy. I'm not using that as an excuse. The ones who are gonna understand are other big guys like me. Those of you who are not, maybe you'll get something out of this, but really it's meant for guys like us. So I encourage everyone to message me. These productions will get better as we go. We'll put some sort of a backdrop here with my new logo on it so you guys can recognize it. The production quality, with the help of Daniel and my son in law, are going to get much, much better. But I want to leave you with a little bit of understanding. A little bit of motivation. This is not a podcast to encourage people to be any different than who they are. This podcast is to remind people that, you know, happiness is not guaranteed in the Constitution. The pursuit of
Yeah.
happiness is guaranteed in the Constitution. And happiness, at the end of the day, is not something you buy. It's not something you earn. It's not something that you're awarded. At the end of the day, it's a choice. Julian used to say that to us on the ranch, that doing things or not doing things is more a matter of a choice than ability. We choose to be happy. I use a lot of baseball analogies when I talk about motivation, especially at work, and it annoys people, I'm sure. But to me, baseball is life. You could take any situation in baseball and dictate it to life. And I think the hardest thing in sports is to stand in a batter's box and hit off of a major league pitcher. Because sometimes they come down the middle, sometimes they come high, sometimes you swing and miss at an easy one, and sometimes they're outside and you try to swing and you miss. But every now and again, a fastball comes and it hits you right in the belt. So once that happens, I think you have three choices. Okay. You can either go back to the dugout in pain and complain to your manager of how unfair it is to get a fastball in the stomach and not go back out. You can get angry and you can rush the pitcher thinking he's doing it to you on purpose, and you might just lose your ability to play the game altogether. Or you can get back in the batter's box and you could stare at the pitcher and you could say, "Throw me another one. Let's see what we do with it." Now, none of those choices are wrong. You could do any of those choices and find peace and happiness in your life, but you have to make the choice. And I just hope it's the right choice for you. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got a little bit of insight. I hope you guys respond to me on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. Ask me some questions, tell me your situations. I'll call them out on air, and maybe there is a Big Guy, Big Problems t-shirt in your future for doing so. So thank you. Thank you,
I'll
Daniel.
work
Thank
on
you
that
for
one.
being
Sure,
here.
yeah. Thank you for
Make
letting me
sure
be
to
your
like and
guest.
subscribe, and I will see you guys soon.